I was fortunate enough to interact with really the legends of the industry. And obviously at Intel, it was Andy, it was Gordon Moore, it was Bob Noyce. I mean, these were the intellectual leaders, right, of Silicon Valley. And it was just stunning that I got to interact with them. And, one of my views is, my job as CEO is I am not here to bring about social change. I'm here to run a business. And my role as CEO is to be the leader of that business. And if it's not a business relevant topic, I shouldn't opine, right? And I chose not to speak or sign the amicus brief, for instance, of the executive order on immigration. Why? I had a couple of people that were affected by it, but in a company of 20,000, a couple of people, that's not a business significant or impactful thing, right? Again, I didn't like it, but that's not my job as CEO. I'm going to speak and take actions where it is meaningful impact to our business. And I think that's our job. We're not here as political leaders, we're here as business leaders. Almost all the security attacks that have occurred are results of very basic things, right? Basic phishing attack that you didn't have good, administration, software updates. I mean, things that are pretty basic. And in that environment, I think the security industry is likely to go through a pretty big consolidation phase as we go forward. For those security companies in the audience, I say, get big, get out, or, fairly quickly would be my clean advice to you, because I think you have a couple more years and then things are going to change in a big way. So because of that sort of, I'll say, bigger strategic thesis, we ended up passing on a couple of companies in that space. But, one of the great things that you do in life is, admit when your strategy is not working and make adjustments to make it work. Most startup companies, the business that ends up succeeding for successful startup companies is the fourth business plan, right? I think on average, right? You're going to make those twists and turns as you go forward. Corporations have to do it as well. You got to put your pride away, right? And you say, oh, I thought we were on a good path. It might have been a bad path because of things. You might not have executed it well. It might have been a great path, but you didn't execute it well. So, there's a lot of ways that you get there, and then you make good pragmatic decisions. At the end of the day, often, and you have this deep sense of what the right answer is. You know what the right answer is. But getting the right answer versus getting your team to the right answer, right? That's leadership, right? How can you tell a leader? People are behind them, right? And if your team doesn't come with you, you're on a walk in the woods, baby. Right? You have to have your team come with you. And that's why, we went through the meetings, we had another board review, tackled some of the debates or issues yet. At the end of the day, you sort of have that gut decision where, this is the call. We're finally going to make it and go forward. Now, even in your reservations, I, as the CEO, right, I'm making this call, but you have to give a lot of time for the team to come along. And sometimes the fast decision that is the right one isn't the right decision yet, right? And that's an important aspect of leadership. I'm 37 years in the industry. If you've used the personal computer, I helped create it. If you've ever connected on Wi-Fi, I helped create it. These are some of the seminal things. And we're just getting started, folks. The things that we are doing, right? Literally, we're going to touch every human on the planet and every modality of life, and we're going to improve the length and the quality of life experience for every human on the planet. And if that doesn't get you excited, right, go somewhere else, right? That isn't what Jamie wants, man. That's what we have this opportunity to do, and some of the AI, machine learning things, as crude and as ugly as those algorithms are, they're starting to produce some pretty compelling results,